Hey everyone, Dr. Cummings here. This is the Canvas page for the microbiology lab. I'm going to use lab section 1 for my example here, but sections 2 and 3 are nearly identical with the exception of due dates and times of things being shuffled around. Otherwise it's the same content. So I'll use section 1 as my example here. Opening page doesn't have a whole lot of information. If you go to the syllabus, you can find the lab syllabus here. There's also going to be a full video walking you through the lab syllabus carefully so you know what you've gotten yourself into for lab. I copied and pasted the lab calendar below so you can see what's going to be happening, when, what's due, etc. just as kind of a quick reference, but you are going to want to get the full lab syllabus and be prepared to go through all of that. Kind of like in lecture or pretty much any other Canvas course, most of the action is happening here on the modules page. And again, it's broken down by week, and you'll notice that I've only got weeks listed where we are actually doing something in lab, which most weeks we are, but there's a couple weeks that we don't. So week 1, you notice there's nothing here. It's because we're not going to meet for lab during the first week. All of us are adjusting to everything at that point. I've got to get my lab team all on the same page for prepping media and getting everything ready, and you guys need to adjust to the new semester. So week 2, the week of March 8th through 12th, will be our first lab. This document here will be the first lab document. There's going to be one lab document that you need to use every single week that we're together. There's also going to be a quiz each week that we're together. I'll break that down in the syllabus in the next video. But you can see here's the title, Contamination and Aseptic, which means sterile technique. You're going to download and study the handout, and you want to study it for the quiz as well as to understand the work that you're going to be doing that day. And then often we'll supplement this handout with a couple pages from your textbook. So here's a couple pages from Bowman, your textbook, on culturing microorganisms and obtaining pure cultures, and then a handout on hand washing from the World Health Organization. And you're going to be using this actually to do a hand washing experiment the first week, so make sure you download that and read it. When you come to lab, you're going to want to have a copy of this, the actual lab handout with you. I'll have the hand washing guide there for you to refer to. As long as you've read it ahead of time, you'll be fine. And then, of course, before you come, there are some videos. These tend to be pretty short, but these are really, really important, and you will find quiz questions from the videos, so don't skip the videos. This is demonstration of techniques that you're going to be putting into practice in the laboratory. So you don't want to just show up for lab unprepared and, oh, well, I'll just lose a few quiz points. No, you're not going to know what you're doing. So make sure you do the reading that's assigned and then watch each of the videos that are a few minutes long. Usually you're going to need somewhere around an hour to prep for lab. Sometimes it'll take a little bit longer. And some of these labs, many of them in fact, will have some work that you need to do ahead of time. Definitions to look up, questions to answer, etc. before you come to lab. So make sure that you don't wait until right before your lab starts to take a look at this document. Look at it a couple days ahead of time so that at least you know what's coming up and what you need to be working on, and the timing of how much work you've got to do. How many pages you're going to have to read? Are there questions you need to answer ahead of time? How many videos do you have, etc. So most of your work is going to be here in modules. Each of the weeks as we go on down the line, and in the syllabus video I'll explain a lot of these things in more detail, and then of course in grades you can keep up with the points that you're earning in this class. So the next videos are going to be on your syllabi for both lecture and lab.